There are some videos like that that you don't want to record. I promise you, I didn't want to record that video. But there are some videos like that that you know you will be obliged at a certain moment to record. You just want to push them as far as possible away. This evening I go live with Luca, where we'll speak about Juve. I really wanted to speak also about Andrea Cambiaso with him, his opinion. If one day he would consider seeing Andrea Cambiaso far away from Juve, if he would accept it, but far from me, I was expecting to record that video today. Far from me, I would expect to record that video today, not speaking even about the future, about the summer, but already speaking about the winter, because Manchester City is extremely serious about Andrea. And Juventus Football Club, well, like they said a million times, there are no players that are untouchable. All the players, they have a price. Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel, I hope you're all doing well. I will put you everything in context, and then I will give you my feeling about Andrea Cambiaso. What is the context? That we already heard the first voices of Manchester City interested in Cambiaso back then in the summer. They were on the player, there were some interest. I heard it, I knew it, there were some rumors. And I was a bit worried, but I pushed these news away. I didn't want to hear them, especially because then everyone was reassuring us with that contract extension in the summer of Andrea. Really great one, totally deserved one for Andrea, which is also promising love for Juve. Of course, not eternal love, but at least love for a few years on the field. A player that was also deserving at a certain moment to have that armband around the arm here, the captain band. Extremely important, beautiful confirmation from Thiago Motta to Andrea Cambiaso. I was there live, it was Lazio Juve. I was surprised but extremely happy. It came a few weeks after his renewal of contract, and you say, okay, we are settled, calm down. These voices of the summer of a Premier League club, a big one interested in him, we can push them away for at least a few seasons. But the problem is that these voices came back. They came back a few days ago where I watched them again and I said, attenzione, because in the summer he could really leave Juve. He could really leave Juve because if Manchester City is pushing for Andrea, it's a club that have the money. The money to convince Juve, but also the money to convince Cambiaso. And also, it's a player that is fitting perfectly the style of Pep Guardiola. They are extremely serious about him. Guys, why am I recording that video now? Because already this morning reading Tuttosport, it's already the second time that they are speaking about it. It was already nearly 3/4 of a page where you go with City is going all in for Cambiaso. This afternoon, between 12 and 1 p.m. Italian time, I was live on Juventus where I was speaking with Massimo Zampini, the first one that told me on the 13th of December that Juventus was really interested in Kolo Muani, and he told me I don't have really great news. If yesterday we were laughing with the news City on Cambiaso, well today guys, I'm not laughing anymore because we received inside information that Juventus could even think about it, and we were already speaking about what is a price, what is a value that Juventus couldn't refuse for the player. So you see, we were already starting to go into detail about Andrea Cambiaso leaving the club. I'm devastated. I'm really devastated. I tell you the truth. My first thing that yesterday, for example, I was doing with Luca Momblano was taking the shirt and put it on like this with the name Andrea Cambiaso, number 27 on me. Don't touch Cambiaso, untouchable, 24 years old player that is Italian, that is a player that can play on the left, that can play on the right, can play in the back, and then play up in the field, that has also, if we are looking at that first part of the season, exactly what Thiago Motta is requesting, a player that can carry the ball, a player that can go centrally towards the middle of the field. There were some games also last season with Allegri that he was playing as the midfielder, so it's a player that can do it all. A player that can do it all, a player that we were all thinking, that's the guy that for a few seasons will share Juventinità, that we can grip on, that we can hang on, that we can say, okay, we have a Cambiaso, because we know it. All the players, they come, they leave. And unfortunately, it's not like a few years ago where you're certain when you love a player that he will stay 10, 15 years at your club, maybe even 5 years. Today, we don't know anymore. Look, they are really serious. I will continue with the story in a second, but they are really serious. Looks like an offer didn't arrive yet at the club, but they want in the next coming days to come with an offer of 65 million euro. If we are speaking about 65 million euro, which is actually what Di Marzio posted today, it's an offer that is already huge. On transfer market, which means totally nothing, of course. It has a value of 40 million euros. So 65 is already 50% more than the value on transfer market, which again means totally nothing. 65, that's the number that you're starting to think. Should we do it? Should we not do it? Pay attention, because there are more information from Gianluca Di Marzio that is continuing to say, attenzione, the black and white club of Juventus, they want at least 80 million euro, because it's not only Manchester City that is in contact with the player, because they are already speaking with the entourage, with the management, but it's also Bayern Munich that have their eyes on the Italian number 27. 80 million euro if Cambiaso should leave now in the winter. Of course, the requesting price and the first offer, you always go towards a middle way that could possibly be a 70 million euro. It's a lot of money. 70 million euro for the finances of Juve is a lot of money. Do I believe in it? Unfortunately, yes. You know why? Because when I saw that Kolo Muani came on a on a loan, where you didn't have to pay any money, and I still hear that Gazzetta dello Sport is telling us we will go for 2 center backs, the money needs to come from somewhere. That money was planned to come from players like Fagioli, Danilo, Arthur, save of salary, from a player maybe like Rui, like Bangula. These were the players that we were talking about in exit strategy Mercato, to take a bit of money to finance the winter of Mercato. Fagioli is still there. Danilo will interrupt the contract, but will have no fee for that. We will save a bit on the salary. Arthur is still there on the 16th of January, so probably will stay here until the end of the season. Fagioli we don't speak about anymore. We don't hear a serious, concrete offer to Fagioli, which became not a priority from Juve anymore. Ragazzi, I seriously believe that if I hear Juventus is ready to invest 50 million euro for Araujo, which maybe 50 million would never have been reached from Juve, but maybe 40, 45. It's important money. That money needs to come from somewhere. And if it's not coming from the people that we had in the exit list, it needs to come from someone. So my first thought was Dusan Vlahovic. Dusan Vlahovic leaving Juventus Football Club. Cashing in, instead of investing for a striker that temporarily you have on a total free loan, that where you are only paying the salary, you will invest in defense. It makes totally sense, but apparently these concrete offers are still not arriving from Dusan Vlahovic. And that's where Juventus says, okay, Andrea, if he needs to leave, 80 million euro. My opinion, guys, if we don't speak about numbers, if we don't speak about finances, no way. Don't touch Andrea. It's the player that I wanted to see years with Juve. It's a player that I wanted to see one day becoming the captain. It's a player that I was really relying on. Of course, at the moment, he has a bit of a dip after that injury against Bologna. That probably I am the curse, because you know it. He had that injury, if I'm not wrong, on the 7th of December. The 6th of December, I received that shirt that I ordered. Why did I go with the shirt of Cambiaso? For a single reason, because he's a player that was doing fantastically well in that beginning of the season. He was the real surprise, the real revelation, the player that I didn't even believe in last summer when he came from Bologna. I said, no, he's a good player, a good rotational player, and he surprised me so much. But on top of that, he's also the player that I had the opportunity to interview live, sitting next to him. He was next to him. I was asking him a question, and that was the very first player I had the opportunity to sit next and to speak with. I said, all these reasons, they are written in the sky. It's a destiny thing. That player, I need to have the shirt, because I want to remember that player forever. And at least I'm sure, especially with that renewal of contract, that it's a shirt that I will be able to keep for a few seasons. Looks like I was wrong, guys. Looks like I was wrong. Don't touch my Cambiaso. Juve, what are we doing? Seriously. Impossible. Never I would have loved to record that video, even if honestly I knew that the moment would come, and I knew it started to be really concrete. But on the other side, if I hear a request of 80, a first offer of 60, 65, that you can maybe close at 70 million euro, it's a lot of money for a club like Juve that, you know, it last year was not in Champions League, that we are starting to be better financially, but we are still not out of the situation. Can you refuse, let's say, 70 million euro? Can you refuse 70 million euro for Cambiaso? I don't know, guys. The player is perfect for Pep Guardiola. With us, he's playing in that 4-2-3-1 as a left back. At Pep Guardiola, will probably play also on the left, but a bit more higher. Who knows, maybe on the right side of the field. But he will have more opportunities to push ahead. And when I interviewed it, I will always remember that he said, what I need to become better at, defending. I need to be a better defender because that's what I'm lacking. I love to go up. I love to attack, which is not doing that much this season with Thiago Motta. So if you're looking at playing style, he's perfect for City. If you're looking at money, they have money. They have enough money. They can really invest. If I remember the words of Pep Guardiola after Juve City, when he said, if I'm interested in players from Juve, yes, they are. But I will not reveal you the name. Of course, we knew he was speaking about Andrea. Of course, we knew he was speaking about our number 27. Guys, it's a disaster. It's a disaster. I would love today to tell you that there are other ways. But it looks like Juve, they are going for a full revolution again. Looks like this winter mercato, Juventus is acting like if it is a summer mercato. Looks like Juventus, that first revolution of 6 months ago, instead of waiting, just adjusting a few things and going with another build-up from the team in the summer, they are anticipating and they are doing a summer mercato in the winter. Selling Cambiaso today, which player do you take? And especially if you have all that money, you know that if you're looking for talents in Italy, they will ask you, how many million? How many million? If you go for Dorgu, for example, let's say Dorgu, well, instead of paying 30 million euro, because Napoli is already on him, well, probably you will pay, 45 million euro, because they know. And it's not the first time that these things are happening. So if seriously Cambiaso should leave, I hope that you already have signed a player. And I hope that that player is not, with all the respect and with all the love I will have for Alberto Costa, I hope it's not Alberto Costa. Because if Alberto Costa needs still to show himself, well, Andrea Cambiaso already showed himself. And don't tell me that at the moment he's not playing well, because, guys, we are speaking about 5-6 games, while if you're looking at all the games that he played since his arrival at Juve, Andrea has always been at least in the top 3. I don't know what to say, guys. Comment. We see each other this evening to speak about it with Luca at 8 p.m. UK time, 9 p.m. Italian time. Ciao.